Thank you, Alan. I think in last year intake, this first year to fifth, I think there were suggestions to drill deeper, okay, to drill deeper into the inner world and how to really beef up the inner world. That's why this year I'm coming out with a new program upon the request. And that new program is called Awaken the Unseen Energy Within. Now, this new program, Awaken the Unseen Energy Within, is talking more about the energy world. Okay, energy world, and in particularly your inner mind. Okay, inner mind. How to shift that inner energy to make things work for you. That means, for example, how to create your own boundaries, how to flush out your in case you have received in all the negative energy, how can you flush out your so-called negative energy in your system? Lin say your courses have a lot of energy elements because everything is energy. Okay, energy is energy. So if we condense everything into energy form, it's so much easier to teach, it's so much easier to understand, it's so much easier to move things as well. So instead of, for example, in feng shui we talk about, or we have an item called TV, we have an item called radio, we have an item called aeroplane. If you condense them, profile them into eight trigrams, it's so much easier. We only deal with the eight trigrams. Same thing here. Everything else is energy. So we condense them, profile them into energies. One way is called yang energy, one is yin energy. Now, the way we are doing things in the outer world, we are dealing with the yin energy. Okay, the awaken the unseen energy within, we are talking about dealing with the yang energy inside your system. That is the difference. Again, we are talking about yin yang. Okay, 30 more seconds. Lin said it's very refreshing for me, and I didn't know eating and manifestation has strong connection. It shows how shallow my knowledge of eating is. Not too late. It's not shallow. It's just that we just don't get to see the other side of eating, because eating has always been popularly been advertised to say it is uh, divination tools lah, all these things lah, or philosophy tools, and nobody really relate it back to real life applications, right? So I find it a bit cursy. Okay, thumbs up. All right, thumbs up. Welcome back. Okay, I hope all of you are back. Welcome back to this first year to fifth. Let's move on with the lessons. So let's move to module 2. Module 2 called the inner world beyond the mind. Okay, the inner world beyond the mind. Now I have a video to show you. This video has no sound, so you just have to watch this video. And after looking at this video, I want you to give me your comments. Okay, what's your thoughts? What's your insights in the chat box? Is that okay, everyone? All right, I'll show you the video right now. No sound, no sound. You just watch the video. What you see here is an ant. I think it's an ant or some bugs. And it's trying to get out, trying to run away to gain his freedom. But for whatever reason, always have obstructions, always have blockers. Very frustrating. Imagine you are the bugs. Oh, wow. Finally. Okay, that's it for the video. Very short video, but very impactful. Okay, so I give you some moment. Type in your comments, type in your opinion, type in your insights, type in your thoughts, whatever thing. Type in the chat box. A simple one-liner can do. Lin said barriers are many times self-imposed. Thank you very much. Lin, not only human being, even bugs, they also have self-imposed barriers. So how many of us are actually living in self-imposed barriers? You got my point? Okay. So, what do you think is the root cause of the ants' problems? He could be trying to get out, but he has been frustrated because there are so many barriers, so many obstruction right in front of him. Wherever he go, turn left also got barrier, turn right also got barrier, go forward also got barrier. Now, what do you think is the root cause of the ants' problem? Is it the prankster, the one drawing the circle one? Or is it the ink problem? Or is it the paper problem? Or is it something else? If it's something else, please specify. So type something in the chat box. What do you think is the answer to this question? What do you think is the root cause of the ants problem? Didn't say the problem is the ants inner world. Huh? Okay, very good. It's the ants inner world. It's not the prankster. The prankster is just like your colleague throwing spana along the way, trying to block you. Okay, it's not the ink problem. Okay, it's not the job problem. It's not the workload problem. It's not the paper. It's not the workplace problem. Okay, but a lot of times is the person's the bugs in the world. Samuel said the ant didn't want to, don't think it was able to get across the ink. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. If let's say the bug felt that he's not smart enough, he's not strong enough, he cannot do it because of past experience that this ink is a barrier and this barrier is insurmountable, then every time he will just get trapped inside that circle. But he didn't. He didn't. Okay, I use the word he lah, so assuming it's a male lah. He didn't. Okay, even though there's obstacle, he tried to bash through. He tried to bash through, but it's frustrating because after bashing through, he thought he could gain freedom already. The next barrier was set up. And he turned left, thought he can escape already. Another barrier was set up. But sooner or later, because the more he tried, the more he understand what is going on. And you find that, hey, actually, this barrier is all self-imposed. It's all in the mind. So finally, at the end of towards the end of the video, no matter how many times the prankster draw the circle, the bugs just bash right through it because he knew this is just self-imposed. So relate that to our daily living, to our life, to our career, to our whatever things that we are doing. A lot of time it is just like that. Okay, don't be hold back. Don't hold back. Get yourself hold back because of some self-imposed things. That's like the horse tied to the chair and thought that this is it. Cannot run away anymore. Right? So therefore, based on this, none of this situation or people is the ends problem. Okay? And since nothing outside of the end is actually the problem, then where is the problem? Okay, then where is the problem? Or if it's not outside of the ends, then where must it be? I think the answer is like what Lin say, is the end in the world. The ends in the world means in the mind. In the mind. So same thing for us human. A lot of things is in the mind. It's taking place in the mind, in the inner world. So let me move on. Okay. So the part inside the end, which is the mind, is the culprit. That's like for most of us too. Okay. So most people believe they are their mind. So let me ask you this question. So type in the answers if you feel like answering. Are you your mind? Very simple question, right? But sounds stupid. Are you your mind? Is the mind you? If I may rephrase it. Are you your mind? Or is your mind you? What do you think? Okay, so I heard a lot of people telling me they are their mind, the mind is them. So therefore, they keep listening to the mind. The mind say it's not right, you cannot do it, you're not smart enough. My clients will believe what the mind told them. So my question to you is, are you your mind? What do you think? Now, whatever that comes out of your mind is them. This is what many clients told me. Whatever comes out from their mind must be them. Okay, because it's their mind, it comes out from their mind, so it must be about them. All right. So now what is it? Therefore, we want to go behind the scene and take a real good look at about the mind. Are you your mind? Okay. Now, what is that thing that comes out of your mind? Now, help me answer this. What is that thing that comes out of your mind? What do you think? What is that thing that comes out of your mind? Now, Lynn said thoughts, energy, vibes. Very good. Very good. For now. Okay, for now, I will say that what comes out of your mind is thoughts. Okay, what comes out of your mind is thoughts. So actually, we are living in the world of thoughts. Now, what is thought? It is energy. Again, I say everything can be condensed back into energy. So when we talk about thoughts, we're talking about energy. Okay, and what energy is that? Is yang energy. Okay, so remember we are living in the world of thoughts, and that thing called thoughts is so powerful that it can either make or break you. Okay, so what is thoughts? Thoughts is not about the specifics of what you think. Yes, Lin, I did say that thoughts are yang energy. Okay. Now, thoughts are not the specific of what you think. For example, you may be thinking about hamburger. You may be thinking about a Mercedes car. It's not about the Mercedes car. It's not about the hamburger. It's not about the specifics of what you think. It's that within you that allows you to think. Wow, chim. Is it chim? This statement here, this answer here, what is thought? Thought is not about the specific of what you think, but it's that within you that allows you to think. So that is the capability there. That is the young energy there that has that capability to keep producing specific thing, like Mercedes car, like a hamburger, like I say, I want this or I want that. I'm not good enough. I have this past that I don't want to repeat again. All these are specifics. And a lot of people term that as thoughts. Okay, I wouldn't default that, but I would say thoughts is just your capability of producing that specifics. Okay, so Lin say, but what happens if it's negative thoughts? That is not in energy. Okay, now even if it's negative thoughts is produced by this young energy. So this young energy is so powerful, it can produce anything you want it to produce. Or not you want to produce, is that it can produce a lot of things by itself, including negative thoughts, including positive thoughts. So whether it's negative, positive, all these are specifics. You get what I mean? If let's say I have a tap and that tap is your thoughts because it has capability to produce water, but when you turn on the tap, it can come out with dirty water or it can come out with drinkable water. You see the parallel? So the tap is like your thoughts capability. It can produce water. But what comes out is a different thing. That is what I call specifics. Is that okay, Lin? Right? So this is thoughts. So it is the creative young energy that flows through the brain and comes out as individual specific thoughts. Can be negative thoughts, can be say, okay, I crave for nasi lemak today. So this is a thought. Okay. Or I don't think I want to eat hamburger today. This is also a thought. All right. But it is the young energy that flows through the brain and then keep on pumping out specifics. And this specific is what normal layman people call as thoughts. Okay, but right now we know, so therefore, it is like a negative firm like that. All creativity comes via thoughts, whether it's negative thought, positive thoughts, neutral thoughts, hamburger, all these are creativities, isn't it? Okay, all this creativity comes via the thoughts. You can make anything out of it. You can imagine yourself at Hawaii by the beach. Okay, or you could imagine yourself in Australia doing horse riding. All these are thoughts. You can make up anything out of it. Now there is a research done. In fact, there are two different research done about thoughts. Okay, now this research was done before year 2020. Okay, before COVID, before COVID year, and it was believed through that research that approximately each day we generate 60,000 overthoughts. Wow, a lot leh. In a 24-hour window, our brain generated approximately 60,000 thoughts or so. Okay, so therefore, another research done in 2020, okay, by this Queen's University in Canada, it says, but of course they use different parameter to measure lah. So no matter which one is it, because the different parameter. Now, this second research says that actually no, based on this new measurement parameter, each day is about 6,000 thoughts. So this is more conservative studies. The earlier one that show you 60,000, that one is a more liberal kind of studies. But because it's different parameter being used, therefore the results are slightly different. But no matter what it is, 6,000, 60,000 is actually quite a lot, isn't it? Okay, quite a lot, right? So let's say we talk about the more liberal one, 60,000 thoughts a day. Okay, in an hour, it should be around 2,005 thoughts. In a minute, there should be about 40 thoughts. So in every 1.5 second, you should have one thought coming out. 1.5 second. 1,000, 2,000, one thought. 1,000, 2,000, one thought. Now, right now, today, now it's 3:38 p.m. Okay, how many hours gone already in a day? Now, how many thoughts have you generated? Okay, now if we talk about the conservative one, 6,000 thoughts a day. So per hour, 250 thoughts. Per minute, 4 thoughts. Every 15 seconds, one thoughts. Not 1.5, but every 15 seconds. 15 seconds is still pretty short, right? Every 15 seconds, a new thought comes out. A new thought comes out. Now, this study has a huge impact in our inner world. Okay, I'm glad they have this study because it has a huge impact in the way we manage our inner world. So let's talk about thoughts again. Okay, so now we know that thoughts is not about the specifics that comes out, but it's the capability of producing, pumping out specifics. Okay, so it's a constant energy, it's a constant variable. I've said it's constant variable is because constantly it pumps out a lot of variables. You may be thinking about car now. The next 15 seconds, you may be talking about I'm hungry already. Let's talk about nasi lemak. Okay, so it keep on changing every 15 seconds. Let's use the more conservative one every 15 seconds. So the content of your thought is always continuously changing. Do you agree with this? Okay, the content, the specifics of your thought is always continuously changing. And how fast? Conservatively speaking, 15 seconds. The more liberal one is every 1.5 seconds. So let's keep it with the conservative one, 15 seconds. Now, so what? We know about this information. Very important. Okay. Why is it important? Is because before that, we need to understand this part here. Your feeling, how you feel, okay, how you feel will continuously change with that thoughts that comes along. I repeat, your feeling, or in short bracket, your emotion will continuously change with it. Okay. So for example, right now you could be, you could be listening to me happily and things like that. Then suddenly I said something that pressed the wrong button in you. Suddenly you may get offended. Suddenly it may trigger you to think back of something else that make you feel unhappy. Okay, because you produces new thoughts, therefore your feeling and your emotion will go with it, will change with it. This is important. Remember that's how I talk about the inner world. Perception go to thoughts, thoughts go to feeling, then feeling go to action. Okay, so this is very important, right? So let me go in deeper to talk about your mind and your thoughts. Now imagine three things: the movie projector, the movie tape, and the movie screen. Now, in a movie theater, you need a movie projector from behind to project that movie. Okay, in the movie tape, to project that movie onto a screen in front of you. I draw this parallel is because if you can remember this parallel, I think you will be able to comprehend what your thoughts is and how to manage it. Now, if thought is equivalent to that movie tape, okay, the movie tape, and consciousness is the movie screen in front of you that you get to see one. Okay, so consciousness is the screen that lets you experience what is in that movie tape. So in our mind here, every one of us, we have consciousness. And because we have consciousness, we are able to play back that movie tape. That means your thoughts lah. If your thoughts say, "Alamak, yesterday my boss said this statement," okay, is he trying to swan me, or is he trying to hint to me that I'm not doing my job well? So you see, this is a movie tape. Okay, and because you have this consciousness, the consciousness will play back and show you like a story movie, right? Okay, got storyline, got movie line, right? So you know, and because you are entertaining those thoughts, your feeling go with it. Suddenly you feel insecure. Suddenly you feel worried. You don't know how your boss thinks. Is he trying to hint to you that you should buck up, pull up your socks, or what? Okay, so your emotion and your feeling will go with it naturally. Even when you watch a movie, drama, if it's a sad movie, you may cry with it. Okay, so Lin said consciousness, is it awareness? Yes, you can call it awareness. You can call it awareness. No, no wrong. Okay, you can call it awareness. All right. Okay, next. So the entire movie is powered by the energy of mind, called the movie projector. So your mind is the movie projector. And inside that mind, there's a movie tape, which consists of all your thoughts that comes in every 15 seconds. Every 15 seconds, it will change one scene. It will change one scene. Okay. And when it change, all right, if it's a positive scene, you feel happy. If it's a negative scene, that's like, for example, you're thinking that you're worried that your boss could be hinting at you or something like that. There's a hidden message behind what he said yesterday. Then suddenly your emotion come in, your anxiety come in. So your mind plus the thoughts plus the consciousness equal your experience, equal your human experience. Remember this, okay? Your human experience is actually made up of three components: your mind, the movie projector; your thoughts, the movie tape; and the consciousness, the movie screen. Is that okay? Yeah. Okay. So once we understand this, I want to bring your attention to this. There are two huge implications for how we live our life. Okay. First one, first one, we quickly understand, or straight away we understand, that we live in our experience of thought, not in the experience of the outer world. Remember this, that's like that bug. Okay, he is living in his experience of thought because his thought tell him that the ink is a physical barrier. You can't possibly cross it. Okay, so he's not living in the experience of the outside world. The outside world is a flat ink. That is the outside world, the reality of the outside world. But in his own reality, in his own world, he's experiencing his own experience of thought. And the experience of thought is telling him that the ink, even though it's flat, is a physical barrier that cannot be crossed. Same for all of us. Okay, same for all of us. Huh? So therefore, because of this, we feels like we are reacting directly to what's going on the outside. So your boss could be telling you something, and because you are going through your thoughts, you are making up your thoughts, and you buy into the thoughts. When you buy into the thoughts, you are actually reacting almost like directly to what's going on out the outside. Okay, so that's called consciousness. So in short, implication number one, right, is actually nobody can make you feel a way that you don't think. Right? If you watch a comedy movie and you don't find it funny at all, while everyone can laugh, you won't laugh. Okay, you won't laugh. On the contrary, if you're watching a sad movie, everybody else is crying, but you don't find it very sad, okay, you won't cry. So this is the implication number one, is nobody can make you feel a way that you don't think. Okay, so that For example, just now when we talk about your boss telling you something yesterday, you make up a story and you feel anxiety, it's because you make yourself feel anxiety. Otherwise, nobody can make you feel a way that you don't think. Okay. So for example, if I say, for example, I tell you you're an orange. Do you know that? You're an orange. Would you feel anything? Probably not, right? You probably won't feel anything even though I tell you an orange. You know that? You're orange? Because you don't think it that way. But if let's say I were to tell you suddenly, right in your face, I say that, hey, you are very selfish. Do you know that? Ah, some of you may be offended. Why? Because you take it personally. It's not about the word. I'm talking about words. It can be orange, it can be selfish, it can be beautiful, it can be pretty, or it can be honorable, it can be anything. But why selfish comes out, you get offended. Is because, back to these slides here say nobody can make you feel a way that you don't think. If you don't, you find that orange is a neutral word, you won't feel offended. If you find that selfish is a neutral word, you won't feel offended as well. Okay, so it's all about your inner world, your thoughts, and you are reacting to the thoughts. Right? Then, even though you may be reacting to the thoughts, you may feel offended, whatever, the length of the feeling, the length of feeling offended is the length of the thought that you feel offended. Tim, that's implication number 2 already. That's how we talk about nobody can make you feel a way of thing. But how long will it last? This is implication number 2. The length of that feeling is the length of the thought. All right. So therefore, if you find that you have a positive thought and you're feeling good with the positive thoughts, try to prolong the thoughts. Okay, try to prolong the thoughts. But if you are feeling lousy because of a negative thoughts, tell yourself, no big deal, because I just have to wait out 15 seconds, a new thoughts will come out naturally. You get my point? So you don't have to go and entertain the negative thoughts because 15 seconds later, a new thoughts will come out. But if sway, after 15 seconds, another negative thought comes out, what do? Again, let it go, because 15 seconds later, another thoughts. So hopefully the third thoughts that comes out is a positive one. You get my point? Okay, so that's like small children. Small children, they can get very angry in one moment, but they can become very good friend again, the next second. Why? Because it's like that one. The length of the feeling is just the length of the thoughts. 1 second later, when somebody tell a joke or make a funny face, can laugh really. Okay, that is the truth, right? So therefore, you can't really control your thinking. Okay, this is the bad news lah. This is the bad news. Because of this, you can't really control your thinking. Then how? Okay, let me share with you the good news. The good news is you don't have to control your thoughts. Isn't it so? Okay, you don't have to control your thoughts because every 15 seconds there will be a new thoughts. So just don't entertain the negative thoughts. If you know it's a negative thought, don't entertain. So for example, suddenly you have a flashback of what your boss said yesterday. And you say, oh, jialat, jialat, jialat. This suddenly flashback already. I feel very negative now. I feel very anxiety now. Okay, just tell yourself, no big deal. 15 seconds later, don't entertain this thought. 15 seconds later, another new thoughts will come out. You get my point? So this is how you manage your inner world. So you don't be consumed by that flush of that negative thoughts that comes out. Just bear in mind that by nature, our mind is so-called clarity. Okay, the nature of mind is clarity. So therefore, if let's say you feel very negative, you feel very, out of the world, you are not thinking straight, just tell yourself, okay, now the water has some murks there. Okay, it's murky. Let that murk settle. Let that murk settle. The murks will settle. That's like this glass of murky water. If you leave it there, don't do anything, don't entertain it, don't stir, don't keep on stirring, the murk sooner or later will settle. And once it settles, you find that you can see through the water. The water is clear. It is exactly the same as our mind. Negative thought comes out, don't entertain it. Okay, let it settle because 15 seconds later, a new thought will come out. All right, you get my point? Okay, so therefore, that's now my question about asking you, are you your mind? Okay, you are not your mind. Okay, you are not your mind. I'm just telling you, you are not your mind. Okay, your mind and what is in it is not who you truly are. Let me repeat this. Your mind and what is in it means the thoughts, are not who you are. It's just like, are you your hand? Are you your leg? Are you your stomach? No. You are not them specifically. You are a collection of every parts put together. So you're bigger than your mind. You're bigger than your hand. You're bigger than your leg. You're bigger than your stomach. You're bigger than any parts of your body. Okay, you are the collection of everything put together. Right? So don't let just one part of your body dictate your life. Not worth it. Okay, not worth it. So if your mind and what is in it is not who you are, then what is it, man? Okay, your mind and what's in it is who you learn to be. Isn't it so? Your mind and what is in it is who you learn to be since birth. Okay, so let me repeat this again. You are not your mind, it's just part of you, just like your leg, your hand, your stomach, your ear, your eyes, your nose. It's not you. It's not you. That's part of you. Okay, so you are not your thoughts also. You are not your thoughts. You are the one who is able to hear the thoughts. See the difference? You are not your thoughts. You are the one who is able to hear the thoughts. Fortunately, unfortunately. Okay. So your thoughts can be a good servant, but a bad master. All right. So with this, okay, any quick questions? I hope you have a better understanding about thoughts and your thoughts. Are they your good servant? Are they a bad master to you? What's your take? Share your thoughts in the chat box. So every time when I do live coaching, I'm not dealing with their outer world first. Actually, I always go into their inner world to talk about the inner world first. If I don't clean up their inner world, it's very hard to do the outer world job. Yeah. So what do you think? Do you have a good servant, or do you think you have a bad master or cham cham? Anyone? Lin says, still digesting the last few slides. Okay. Do you need me to repeat? All right. So I hope you have a better understanding of your mind. You're not your mind. You are just, your mind is just part of you. You are not your thoughts also. It's just that you are able to hear those thoughts. Okay. Now, with these slides, okay, if you have no further questions, then actually I've come to the end of this module 2. All right, and that by right should end today's lesson as well, but we still have time. Okay, you still have time. So I want to go through the quiz section here so that I want to see how much you can understand from today's lesson. Is that okay? So Lynn's asking, so what are we if we are not our thoughts and not our mind? So sorry, so many questions. Racing mind. Okay, not a problem. Lynn, ask as many questions to clear your doubts as you could. Right? Now, you are not your mind. Your mind is just a small part of you, just like your hand, your leg, and everything else. Okay? Your mind is your servant. It's not your master. Now, the problem with us, a lot of people, nowadays is that they treat their mind as their masters. When the mind tell them this, they believe it. When their mind tell them not to do that, they will quite listen to it. Okay? They don't want to question. All right? So That is the problem right now with a lot of people. They thought their mind is their masters, which is not. Mind is just part of you. Mind, just like your leg, your hand, all these things are at your command. So we should leverage on the mind power, okay, and not let the mind dictate us. Is that okay? Right? So we are not your mind. The mind just thought part of you. Okay. Now racing mind means, right? If you are racing mind means you are always entertaining. Okay, you're always entertaining. You are not in the present. Now it is perfectly okay for to have a racing mind. Okay, it's perfectly okay, right? But you need to be in the present. Okay, how to be in the present? I'll talk about that more in the new program, Awaken the Unseen Energy Within. Okay, a very quick way to quickly summon all your energy back to be in the present. Right? Once you're in the present, you're more grounded. Okay, once you're grounded, lesser negative energy can enter into your inner system. Right? So let me quickly go through the quiz section there. And I need you to help answer all.